So I'm free from Facebook prison, and Corey is kind of not.
Half free, half not free. 20 more days in the clinker for groups. So I made another Facebook account back in October, and Facebook does not like that account. So I'm using that account in groups, the other account in business. So there's technically triplets, and if you include Greg Erical, there's quadruplets.
Okay, before you guys are wondering who we are, other than repeat offenders on Facebook, let's have Corey tell us what we are. So what can people expect in the next hour of their lives they'll never be able to get back?
All right, guys, I don't know why you're here with us, but glad you are. You have made it to the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing. This is for bakers and wannabe bakers to be able to listen and get some information and grow their business versus having to be in the groups or in their emails and things like that. Because I know that when I bake, my hands are full of flour and butter, and I can't always scroll because I actually have work to do. So we came up with Baking It Down podcast. This is the intro that you're experiencing right now. We head over to Marketing Minutes, take a left at Business of Baking, turn right at course coverage, back up to voicemails, head over to group stuff, hit on Twinterests, and then head over to sponsors. Someone did say we had mail. They just sent me a text message. I have not checked it yet, but I will this upcoming week. And that is the 411 on what you're in for the next 1 hour.
Crazy. Okay, I know Corey and I, it is the beginning of the new year. Most of you guys are just covered in dough and elves on the shelves and probably trying to figure out how to attach your Bausch paddles.
This is game day prep.
This is a crazy time.
It's the 24th is showdown. The 25th is when you just sleep and hope you get
you
cool
meet your
stuff
kids for the
Christmas.
first time. You've not seen them in months.
This is the crazy baking season.
So what do you have to tell people right now who are probably 2 tiers away from just calling it quits?
There is only 12 more days till Christmas,
which is 11 more days of maybe hecticness.
11 more days of baking. So this we can do it. Turn on the podcast. Get that Christmas music going in the background. If you have to sob under your Christmas tree for a little bit, get it together, put the apron on, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's called Valentine's Day.
So you guys are probably inundated right now, but we're going to be talking about goal setting for the next year, which I know you're probably like, girls, shut up. And frankly, I agree. I think we should, but we have to produce this every Tuesday, so you get us today. But for the marketing minutes, I would like to talk about meetings. Now, Corey and I have tried a new meeting framework today. A lot of times when you work on your own or you're very, very small business, you drop out the meetings because it makes no sense. You know, why would I meet with myself? I'm a one-man band. Everything I know I need to do, I know I need to do. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't meet with yourself to make sure everything lines up to what we talked about last week, the mission statement. Are my goals smart? Do they all make sense? Is there anything I can get rid of? I actually do a personal meeting every Sunday to go over my week, my goals, both personal and professional, see what I've got coming up. Did I forget that dentist appointment and schedule that other appointment? I got to cancel on one of those. I'm always going to cancel on the dentist.
I like to fly by the seat of my pants and get surprised when something comes up that I forgot about.
Which it's not lost on me that Corey went to a dentist appointment a week early for no apparent reason.
Ready to get those teeth whitened.
Just go with that little blendy thing.
It was actually technically on the calendar, but I said, no calendar, I am right. It is a week early. Took my son out of school and
he had a fun day of driving around. So yeah, I like the concept of meeting, even if it is by yourself. So I'm just going to challenge the stream of thought here. And I would say, what if you gave yourself 1 hour either on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday morning to meet with the team of you? And make sure that everything for the next week supports the mission statement, whatever that mission statement is. And we talked about setting kind of a mission statement and goals for the next upcoming year. But a lot of times when you're in a small business, you often find yourself doing very small tasks because you still feel good, but they don't actually move the whole business forward. So what I find myself doing is I'll spend hours organizing Facebook Business Manager when I definitely have a deadline due the next day. And that Business Manager is going to look fantastic and nobody's going to care. The only person that's going to care is the person who didn't get the deliverable that is due the next day.
My cookie cutter got it. Yeah.
Corey's cookie cutter got the boot. So the meeting breakdown that Corey and I run through, I'm just going to give you guys a framework. It's not something we came up with on our own. Something we definitely stole. Why reinvent the wheel? But it's the entrepreneurial operating system, and it's called L10. And that's a fancy way of saying on a scale of 1 through 10, how would you rate this meeting? And that's basically what they say is when you take an average of what people rate most meetings, they give you a 4. If every meeting was rated a 4 out of 10, you probably wouldn't go back to that meeting. So stop meeting 4 out of 10 meetings and do a 10 out of 10. So this L10 meeting, it's meant that it has to start on the same day, same time. The agenda is always the same, and it must end on time.
So you guys, if I have to say, I hate meetings, but this meeting is more of a positive thing versus meetings. Technically, a lot of people think like negative.
I think we're all used to our last job where somebody was like, why isn't this done? And you're like, you told what?
Yeah, or I would like to schedule a phone call. It sounds so scary and negative, but you can have a positive spin on it and not necessarily so negative and sad. I mean, to start a Monday off with a meeting is sad because it's
meetings are sad. But why are we so prone and okay with dealing with really unproductive meetings? In so many jobs I've had, it's just we were meeting. They could have been Zoom meetings, but they would make us drive. I had to drive an hour to get to a meeting that we sat in for 3 hours.
And
that we had
to work mostly remote. So
I know.
I did. I had to go in every day.
So meetings, I just think that we're so used to less than meetings that we often forget that meetings can be enjoyable, especially when they're led by you and you're attending. So why not make them fun? So here's the meeting breakdown for this L10. You can Google it, an L10 entrepreneurial operating system.
Heather's first word is segue, but I've actually never
you
in my
know why?
entire life
Because
seen it
segue,
written
the
out.
contraption, the machine, spelt it differently. SEGWAY. But this is actually how it's Segue. It's actually Wednesday. Segue. Okay, so the meeting breakdown of what Corey and I try to keep it around 30 minutes or less, never more. The segue is like, hey, what's good that's happening in your life? Give me one thing that's good that's happening in your personal life and one in your business life. Corey, what are they?
Oh, we're doing this again?
I want them to understand what it is.
I said that my husband gets 9 days off of work.
Is that
the
a
man
good thing?
never asks for time off, but anytime the man gets time off is a good attitude. So everything surrounding him is hunky-dory. So I enjoy when he gets time off because then my day is easier. He does help me pick up my kid from school sometimes. He definitely always walks the dog. Always cooks dinner.
So Corey and Nate are going to have some. And then Archer goes to his dad's house.
Archer goes to his dad's house in Ohio on Friday. So I get to be childless and carefree for about a week.
Okay. So that's good. And then what's one good thing in your business?
There was so many wins in the cookie college while I was away from Facebook.
Was in the clinker.
So they were all in my feed in one fell swoop.
I think a lot of people did classes, which this is Christmas
prime time, man. We did a class on Saturday. Can I just interrupt real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, on Saturday,
this is not a part of the meeting.
No, this is not. This was a bad part of the meeting. We use Eventbrite to sell tickets for classes. It really keeps everything in order, and we never oversell, we never undersell because everything is organized through Eventbrite. Eventbrite, their dashboard, they have an app. It is super nice to use, super easy to use. I can reference it to see who's coming, who's going, what they bought, what they didn't buy, which class they're going to. It's just a very nice. So we've always used Eventbrite. Does Eventbrite have fees? They do, but it's worth the hassle because we're not chasing people. They do take money too, which is great. Okay.
They accept payment, and then they take their money out of that payment.
And then we get it into our bank account. Very nice, and kind of maybe worth the fees, dare I say, if you charge enough, right?
And then if you want to be that type, you can pass a fee on to the end user. And we do absorb our fees, but
we have been to classes that we have been passed the fees on to. So class comes, we taught 2 big classes. In the final class, we really... if it goes over a few minutes, it's okay because there was no class after it. So usually it's the heyday of our classes. We're super excited about it. Heather, I could hear her talking to the people that are already there. And she was like, okay, guys, we're just waiting on one more person. And I turned towards the door and 2 people are walking.
You never second guess yourself until you say, we've got seats for 1 and 2 people walk through the door.
So
but how
this
could I
is
have
me.
oversold
And
and
no, right. No.
What?
Me and Heather are doing math while also talking to see
And
how we
like
did it.
smiling, but I'm also counting with my eyeballs. Like,
So-
and then
Then Heather was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm just going to go through the list of people and just check everyone off." She goes through everybody. Everyone is there that bought a ticket, but we are 1 cookie set short, and I oddly didn't make an extra set for this one class. I had some rando snowman in 1 red icing bag. It was going to be like a bloody snowman.
There wasn't. But what are you going to do? So I say, okay, listen, we've made an absolutely huge mistake. Sorry you caught me with my pants down. Would anybody be willing to get this class completely, obviously, comped, but we'll give you a credit to a future class as well, and sincere apologies. And then one lady who had honestly taken many of our classes was like, I've actually already taken this one. I'll be happy to.
But what was sad was her niece was there, and this was their time to spend together. So the niece was getting to decorate, but her aunt was not going to be able to do it. So, but she was so fine with standing out. But I was like, oh, we have this 1 red icing bag. You can do piping practice with us, and then you can like work on your skills with the snowman.
So like we're 15 minutes into class. I mean, Corey and I are sweating through our smiles.
I am just like figuring out. I'm like, I 100% made all the cookie kits last night. Plus, I made additional one for someone who signed up. I said, there was a kid in the last class that did that kid not technically sign up?
Yeah, we're going through, and I'm like, I don't. But while they're doing piping practice, I look around, and there's 2 people that are standing too close to each other to realize they've actually got a seat in between them.
It was ruining like my smile was smiling through sadness.
So it all came back around. Vanessa got to decorate her cookies. She's the nicest lady. And then everyone, it was still a grueling class regardless.
No, it was so grueling class. I hope they don't listen to this.
They're not listening.
Okay, I don't know where you were going, but I felt like
okay, so that was the good and bad. So you'd go through in the segue section, like what's not working? Like just one thing, you're not going to address it. So I'm going to say, something that's not working is, obviously Corey and I in and out of the clinker on Facebook has created a lot of issues. That's all I'm going to say. We're not going to address it. We're just going to say that's one thing that's not working. Okay. And then it's addressed later on. Okay. And then Corey, what are your meeting expectations?
My meeting expectation is to get a to-do list for the week.
Great. Okay, so that's her meeting expectations. And then we'd go through mine. And then from that, we go to reporting. So you'd say your scorecard. What is my goals for this year, quarter, month, and week? Okay, just making sure that you're back to look that you see those numbers, because a lot of us are kind of set and forget it with our goals. Right. And then we go back a year from now and we're like, oh, that wasn't ended up what my goal was. Yeah. So it's just, hey, these are my goals. And then you do the rock review, which I thought this was an interesting concept. So oftentimes you take a cylinder and you fill it with sand, all these tiny tasks that feel like they have to get done. And then when you come up with the tasks that are actually building the foundation of your company, these big rocks, they can't fit in. There's too much sand.
Too much sanding.
So what the rock review does is flip those. What are the big things that will move my company forward? I'm going to put those in my task list, my cylinder. And then if I have any time left, then I can pour sand in and it's going to fill in the gaps.
So if you were a baker, something that can be a rock solid for you would be following up with people who purchased from you last year for your Christmas orders, because odds are they probably would buy from you again. Sand would be like, I'm going to go to Ho Baby Low Baby and shop the props because
there's one that's going to increase your bottom line and one's actually going to decrease it. But it's easy for us to distract ourselves with maybe the easier things, the sands.
The funner things.
But when we know that if it's supporting our scorecard, which if it's, hey, I want to double my month last year. I want to double my sales my month last year. What are you going to do to support that? That's going to be an outreach campaign to people who bought from you last year.
Can I have my personal meeting in an aisle of Ho Baby Low Baby while I'm shopping for props? Is it working? Martyr?
It did not require, as long as it's in the same place, it's at the same time. And then customer headlines. So do we have any wins? So for Corey and I, that would be everyone who taught classes this past week, just to say like, hey, this is working. And for you guys, it would be anybody who sent you an email, said, thank you so much. Or anybody who left you a great recommendation on Google or Facebook and saying like, hey, this is working. I'm doing a great job. But also, is anybody upset? It's important to realize that when people are upset with us, that we can see what it is that's causing that. And then address it.
To hate them behind their back.
Right. That's also one option. Okay, so then you go into accountability, which everyone always shirks at the sound of it, but it's just your to-do list. Like coming up with the things that I can do this week that support my rocks, that support my scorecard. So you see that everything
getting mine done, man.
Yeah, you can see that it all supports the goal. And that's why goal setting is so important, because we need to have a goal that we can work towards. So that way we're not distracted with sand and things like that. That should only take about 5 minutes. Corey came up with her to-do list. We'll check back in Monday next week. Did she get it done? Great. If not, no. Your to-do list, they say 90% of it should be a to-done list a week from now. If it's not, then it goes into the next section, the identify, discuss, and solve. So let's say let's say I set an aggressive goal. I didn't meet it. So what was it? Was it a goal to out of place? Did I not have the resources necessary? Or is it something that we can retool and make it a 2-week goal, a more realistic time frame? So again, nothing negative. If it didn't make, obviously our goal here is to create profitable companies. So why should there be anything negative? If you didn't make the goal, it just means that we got to tweak the goal. Maybe you didn't have enough time. So how can we
if your
get
goal
more time?
makes it to week 52 of the year, there's some bigger issues.
You have not been checking.
We're going to have a talk.
So yeah, I know you guys have heard me say it before. I do use a project management software called Asana, where Corey has a profile and I have a profile, and I set for the 3 tasks we came up this week a due date of next week. That way, come next week, we actually have to go into the software and say, hey, I didn't make this deadline, so I'm going to move this deadline, or I've completed this, so I'm going to check it off. And that's what accountability is. That's what it is. So if it doesn't make it through the accountability, if it didn't make it to the to done list, we take it to the IDS, the identify, discuss, and solve, which you just sit down there and say, Corey, whatever your initiative's like, oh, hey, what happened? Oh, was that something? Did that take longer than we thought it would?
Oh, Heather, did yours take longer than
Yes, I got the script ready for it for next week. But how can we identify what it was, discuss it, and come up with a solution so that next week it's moved to the to done list? And then finally, the conclusion is, hey, how did this meeting go? On a scale of 1 to 10, honest recap, what would you rate this meeting at? And the goal is to get people from that 4 to that honest 10. I thought this meeting was really good. Anything you guys need to let anybody know about. So if Corey and I come up with an initiative that affects a virtual assistant, I'll be letting them know. If Corey's got something that's going to affect Nate, she'll need to let him know at the conclusion of the meeting, like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to be out working on Saturday. We have 3 classes. And then you just recap the to-do list.
I'll be gone on Friday.
Right.
I'll be back on Saturday.
For the class. I've already counted up for already. I hope I don't mess it up. So that is the meeting breakdown for the L10 meeting structure. Again, really positive, really forward thinking, and really keeping your goals front and center. That way your business is truly growing. A lot of people I see in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group and the Cookie College said, I feel directionless. And that's because you have no map. You have no roadmap. And you're going to feel like you're pulled in every direction except forward, because there is no guiding principle. So sometimes when we see people join the college and they're like, I just don't know where to start. It's impossible for me to tell you where to start, but it's great if you could tell me where you want to go, because from there we can build the framework that gets you from point A to point B, which you say the fastest is a straight line.
Give me to a billionaire in one straight line.
Okay, well, you're going to need to work a little overtime. So I hope you guys borrow that structure. It's working for us, even though we've just switched over to this meeting type. But day 1, thoughts? What was your rating of the meeting?
I am a kicker and screamer with meetings. Not maybe because it's because I hate meetings. Because every meeting in my life has always been kind of a negative.
Too long, too. My meetings have always been way too long.
You're in trouble. Why isn't this? Where did it happen to this? I want to give you more work because we're meeting.
So then we have like a negative disposition towards meetings, because the only thing that ever comes out of them is more work, more sad, more stress, right? So when your meeting is actually the high point of your week, I think that you'll be more inclined to meet, even if it is just with yourself, to have a personal meeting to pat yourself on the back. To tackle what you got to do this week, to look at your Asana and make sure something I do is a calendar review. What do I have? Again, the dentist appointment. But if you're doing bakes, like how can I structure these baking days? Maybe you can start consolidating. I think
there was someone who did a working back on their calendar, like working back.
Jessica Genzel did reverse calendaring.
Yeah. So you would always be able to look back and be like, okay, I have 2 dozen cookies. I need to start this. They're due Thursday. I need to start them Monday. I need to have base layers done Tuesday. The details done Wednesday. Bagging Thursday morning, due Thursday evening.
Right. And then you know exactly what your week is going to look like. This, I challenge you, if you feel like you are directionless in your business, I would like to challenge you for the mission statement, the goal setting, and the meetings. And then if you feel like you are pulled in too many directions, I would like to challenge you to meet with yourself weekly as well, because there's a lot of this stuff that we can actually drop out. And they said, like, if I don't do this, does anyone die? Does anyone get upset? Does anyone get angry? No? Okay, then maybe I can kind of drop it down on my tier, my priority tier. But a lot of that stuff I'm finding my personal self, I don't have to do it at all. And nobody cares that it's not done, and nobody cares that it is done. So I never had to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Keep a kid alive. Top of my list.
That would be a good one, since you'll end up in real jail.
All right, that takes us to the business of baking, which actually goes off of what Heather just said. Having goals, having accountability is how you will grow your business in 2022. So what you need to also know is there is also with it a fear of failure. Failure is almost
Sorry,
I was
posting a video of the cat who hates a podcast.
Do you know how much I get in trouble for making a sound?
Yeah, don't make sounds.
Don't make sound.
I need to show that. I need to show people. Okay, go on.
Okay, so fear of failure. As you're creating goals for yourself, as this new year's approaching, and you're making decisions that really will impact the future of your company, you're going to have a fear of failure. A lot of times we don't take risks because we're worried about failing. Whether we fail our own expectations or people fail to show up for our pop-ups, we are scared of failure. Well, you're not alone. I'm scared every single day. There's so much fear that comes into business and business ownership that we don't even think about. Is someone going to show up to our pop-up? What if people unsubscribe from my email list that I'm trying to grow? What if my VIP group doesn't succeed? The thing is, someone said this to me the other day, and they're like, it will grow if you force it to. So if you're going to put yourself in a situation where you do a porch pop-up or something like that, you have the potential to, one, fail, but two, you have the potential to be successful. It's never a failure if you learn something, though. Is every pre-sale I do knocked out of the park? No, definitely says sold out, though, I can tell you that. But doesn't necessarily mean that I'm knocking out of the park. And there is a fear of failure every time that you do something new in your business. If you are attempting to do a weekly meeting with yourself and you forget a week or something, life gets in the way and you forget it. Did you fail?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
There's a fear of failure, but can you do it on a Tuesday if you missed a Monday?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not something to hang your hat on and say, okay, well, it was a good 2 weeks, but I forgot the third week.
Failure's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
If you step back, let me learn from this. Let me analyze what worked and maybe what didn't work. If you fail and then turn into a couch potato and cry while you're watching Netflix,
that's a rough one to come back from. But if you failed, that means you were doing.
That means
you can only fail if you tried. Yeah, that's half the battle.
You can only grow if you're forced to. If I did the status quo, if I did exactly what I did last year, this year, but I hoped for 3 times the growth that I did last year, do you think I will see that growth? Probably not. If I'm just...
You better have a lot of them meetings.
If I'm just doing the same exact thing, put one foot in front of the other, I don't think I would see the exact growth. But by the end of 2022, when I sit down and I have to come, and look at my goals, did I meet these? I think I'm going to be sad. But if I can push myself with the pre-sale, I will already tell you, if you're doing your first pre-sale ever, you probably might not knock it out of the park because your audience isn't ready for it. They've not been sold to in the realm of pre-sales.
Also, you don't know what knocking out of the park number is. This
because
is
you've
your
never
first
done
one.
it. Right. You're never failing if you're trying it for the first time because you're going to learn something about yourself, something about your business, and something about your target audience. Wow, they did not like macarons. Things that I now know. Don't offer them macarons next time.
And then you're going to retool. And as long as you're coming back to center and saying, okay, what were my numbers? Back to the kind of meeting list. Why did it fail? Did I identify, discuss, and solve? How can I make it different the next time? But to try something and then in whatever terminology you want to say, fail, and not to figure out why. Well, that's why it hurt so bad, because you didn't assess the damage and say, how can I do this better the next time?
Me and Heather's first sugar cookie class had one person who signed up. Do you want to know who that was?
Schmarm.
It was my mom. I said, Heather, we made a sale. And I looked at the name and said, oh my goodness, it's my
Mom is an oasis.
So what if we quit after that? Well, obviously people don't want classes.
It would be very easy to say, we've tested the market. 0 people, except for our mom, want to take sugar cookie classes.
Was I slightly discouraged? Absolutely. Because I said to myself, no, people want these classes. But I could have quit. We could have quit. We could have said, nope, that's not the revenue. People don't want it. People aren't asking for it. But we kept pushing through. We kept marketing. We changed our price point a little bit.
And we dropped it $10.
Yeah. Then we changed our message, who we were asking. We really narrowed down who we thought would be in these classes. It wasn't a wide range of people. Anyone who likes to eat cookies, that's not who shows up.
Right. But who is our target audience for class? I can almost say that after teaching hundreds and hundreds of people at this point, I'm going to say typically we see somebody between 30 and 50.
Yeah.
99% female.
Uh-huh.
I would say probably 80% just there for a fun day.
Yes. And I want to say a large part of them are a part of the workforce. Mm-hmm. So this is their fun money that they're getting to spend on the weekend. A lot of them are approaching retirement.
And they're just looking for something
fun to do on the weekends, maybe that they can do at home too. A lot of people come in looking to learn. Mm-hmm. Can I get your recipe after and things like that? Which we send it to them.
Right. So when we understand our target, because we've been able to fail up every time, we can narrow in our marketing message directly. So it's laser focused on this one person that really wants to be here. And then, we just oversold a class. I'll account for them. We just oversold a class. We usually do 10 per class. Somebody bought 3 tickets. That's at $70 a ticket. It's a lot of money. No, we didn't offer them a discount for bringing more than one. We never do.
She was like almost trying to ask for one, and then we
upsold her.
No.
We upsold her on buying a 3rd ticket, so it worked. But because we're so confident in our message, having failed so often and sitting down and saying, "Why didn't that work?" Corey and I will be like, "Hey, why didn't this one class work? What ads were you running? Okay, what email campaign we sent?
What holidays around here that could be taking the traffic from us where people are traveling out of town?" What's happening in the local economy that, maybe we live in a very government area, did they have a freeze or something like that? Because that happened at one point.
Another thing, if you buy a ticket through us on Eventbrite, it's going to say, how did you hear about us? That way I can see if they're coming from social media, Google searches, Eventbrite searches, or something else, a referral from a past client.
So then we can see, oh, hey, they're coming from Google searches. Let's really up our SEO game. Let's add some blog posts. Let's do this and that to really focus on what's winning. When you fail, if you do not analyze what failed, you'll never learn. You'll never take anything away from it. If you just say, hey, that's a failure, I'm done.
Well, to come next Christmas, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to do advent calendars anymore. They don't work for me. But why didn't they work?
If they're working for literally, it seems like everyone in sugar cookie marketing, it can work for you. What we need to do, is it your copy? Is it who your message was to? Is your page small and still growing? Did you post in the community group? There's so many avenues before we can say it was a total failure.
But that comes down to, and everything you're saying is sitting down and coming up with a marketing campaign plan, executing, and then assessing your numbers.
Do me and Heather always have amazing marketing plans?
No.
We have probably
They're mediocre at best.
We are always learning from what we're trying to do. So Heather has had man, where's it today?
It's also Monday, guys. Weirdly, Corey's out of town tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow I have to go do the cookie collab and take the cookies somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's cookie collab. We're getting to that.
Cookie collab week. I know. I was supposed to do it Sunday, but the guy didn't show up to work. God darn it. Not sure where I was going there.
You were saying that is our marketing mediocre at best. Yes.
Yeah, but so Heather has this new push. It is TikTok. She's looking at all the data, every single video she does. Like, wow, they really responded well to information like this. Not so well to your calligraphy video. Okay, that's great.
You know what they loved, man? You know what they
loved?
The
spoon.
Fever Weaver, Lemon Squeeber.
That's just because you hyped her up. She has her own marketing campaign.
I blocked myself from looking at apps, darn it.
So it's never a failure if you learn. Is fear of failure there. It's healthy, absolutely. But it's never
Let it
tied
be
to
a really
you as a
small
person.
voice. Yeah. Let it be one of the nobody wants to fail. Nobody does.
If someone doesn't buy my bags of Cole cookies,
Are you selling those?
well, I have the bag, so I do.
Oh, okay.
Been blocked from Facebook, haven't been able to sell much. If someone doesn't like that, if I don't sell anyone, I never take it personally like, wow, they don't like me. No, I say, wow, they didn't like the bag of cold cookies. Where can I switch and what can I do? Maybe they don't like that, bag of coals. Let's do something else Christmassy. Snowflakes, something that they might like. But I never think, wow, that they truly don't like me as a person.
No.
They don't like what I make.
There's
It's
a phrase,
just that one
and
thing.
it's called, it's just business. And it's not a personal attack to you. So I think that some people are going to listen to today's podcast and get real sweaty. If you're like me, you get sweaty when things are challenging. And it's like, well, I'm so far behind. I don't know where to start. Baby steps. A little baby step meeting with yourself saying, hey, if I did this meeting this week, what 3 things would I like to accomplish? What's my big goal? Even if that goal is like, hey, I'd like to sell $1,000 in 2 months.
Or if your goal is this week, I have 2 orders that I need to get out and I would like to be able to have enough time to photograph them correctly.
So how are you going to sit down and do those ahead of time and give yourself a large enough window to get the right lighting to kind of figure it out? And breathe in and breathe out, because failure is a part of being a business owner. So welcome to everything you've worked for.
Congratulations. You're about to be really, really sad. Oh, no, but fear. I cannot say fear of failure because
It's a
there's an L in the
toughie.
second
It's
one.
a toughie.
And fear of failure.
failure.
Okay, go on to the course because I can't even.
Okay, so if your goal is to kind of dial in your marketing for 2022, I would like to let you guys know we're reopening the course. So we're lifting that 250 member restriction. If you want to know our goals, we would like to add 25 members to the course each month. 25 people that are really dedicated. And what's going to happen is you're going to get assigned a twin.
You choose me.
Right. So it's a little Pokemon-ish, but we're going to make sure that we know where you are and where you want to head. And we're going to help you find the classes that get you there. Because that is the goal. If you join the Cookie College and nothing changes, then hey, I could say that we didn't do our job, but we didn't help you do yours.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help you do your job and do it most effectively, because we only have 24 hours in each day. So those 24 hours, ideally 8, you guys should be spent on sleeping. You 4-hour sleeper people. But for the rest of those waking hours, we want to maximize the enjoyment of owning a business and the flexibility of owning a business, but also make the working hours the most effective possible.
So if someone is just tuning in to the podcast for the first time, they've never heard of us, what is the Cookie College? If you had to sum it up in a few sentences.
Built off a year of data from the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, we created courses that roll up into a membership. So when somebody purchases their membership with the Cookie College, they become a student. They get access to a private Facebook group where we can really dig in. It's really awesome now. What I didn't expect is that other members of the Cookie College are giving to each other.
Like, here, use my photo.
Yeah, so someone
Here,
made a
take
great
this.
photo. They even came up with a copy that people could copy. So
Someone was like, man, I sold this and the copies went in it. And everyone's like, copy, please. What did you use for copy?
So now it becomes kind of this like mastermind group of people really trying to help each other move forward. And then we can dig into issues very specifically. But also, I'm going to be teaching this month on creating an Eventbrite class. Why? It's a lot easier for people. I want you to have, if you use Eventbrite, they take a cut, but that means I don't have to email people reminders. Eventbrite does it.
You don't have to chase pavement.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
don't have to
that
send
saves-
email reminders
Exactly.
as it comes in. You don't have to do.
And when I got a refund, I can give them a class credit. We had 4 tickets
That
expire.
was what, almost 500.
Uh-huh.
It was, yeah.
So after, in the final week before class, we don't allow for monetary refunds. We allow for class credit redeemable 1 year from the date of issue. That's an Eventbrite handles that whole thing. It's beautiful. I let people know the restrictions. They say, thank you so much. But in a year, the class expires, the credit expires, and we're paid out. that money. So we made $500 just for the fact, which
For
done paid all of
year.
Eventbrite
And we had
fees.
totally forgotten about all these people that had gotten, because we did so many classes last December, it was mind-boggling. So I can see how we forgot.
Right. So Eventbrite had reminded them multiple times about their class credit. So what I'm going to teach people to do is how to create an Eventbrite in-person class and an Eventbrite virtual class. Now, I'll be the first to say that Corey and I did try a virtual class.
We did 3. We've done 3.
Sometimes they're not the primary source, but it is good to know how to do it.
Yeah. My neighbor actually took one of the classes. She's taken 7 of my classes.
Corey's neighbor, and we've never given her a discount.
Oh, no. Never. She's always been she's brought people to the classes.
She's bought cookies from Corey. She likes to buy the kits to do at her house. But hey, it really works. So the Cookie College, you can access more information on it at thecookiecollege.com. You can see a preview of some of the courses we have there. Corey and I are going to be creating a boot camp. Kind of help people with their goal setting this month of January to get everyone dialed in to make 2022 the most successful on record.
I'm excited. So definitely, if you are thinking about it, Heather has the rest of the week. She's going to send an email to the wait list. So if you would like to beat that wait list, you would be needing to sign up ASAP.
thecookiecollege.com. But yeah, we are doing, again, that's my goal setting in our meeting this morning, was to, reach out to the wait list and let them know. Because one member said, hey, listen, I was on the wait list. I didn't know I could sign up. I did. I think you should send other people. And that's our job as good business owners, to listen to our people. Cheryl, moving on to voicemails.
Okay.
Voicemails are when you all want to ask us specific questions. You can do that by texting 571-556-5644 or shooting an email to hello@sugarcookiemarketing.com. So Jess, you know her as Biscotti Babe. She taught a Facebook Live on biscottis. Gave us everything from her recipe. She's really talented at photography, and she really makes those biscottis pop. But she said, hi, twins. It's Jess. Depending on when you read this, I might be Jess of the business formerly known as Biscotti Babe, en route to Kaiserslautern, Germany.
I see how you like.
Okay, but here's the thing. I did take German class in college, and the key about German is they pronounce absolutely every letter. There's no silent. Kaiserslautern, Germany, but not without a detour to the DMV.
That is where we live. It's DC, Maryland, Virginia, and we all call it DMV.
People are like the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, I know. Someone's like, what?
She says, what are the odds of hosting another meetup? You know what? We should ask Dottie if she would do another meetup.
Does she know about this?
No, absolutely not. She said, I hope you are well and enjoying the holidays. I'll be scoping out a decorating cookie class for February and March.
Oh, we'll have to get those up.
Yeah, I'll have to build that calendar.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, that is something to think about. There was a lot of work the last get together, but it was very much fun.
I love a Seasons 52.
We shall discuss.
That's great. So Jess, Biscotti Babe, congratulations on your premature Biscotti Babe retirement. I hope that after your German tour, you're coming
She's
back.
She's going to know all these European desserts and is going to be able to
bring us back some good stuff. That'll be a fun one. What's voicemail number 2, Corey?
Voicemail number 2 is a text from 224, which is Illinois. Is it Illinois or Illinois?
I think you dropped the S, but I'm not sure because I had to say gooey.
Illinois. Illinois. Let us know in a text. Hi, twins. I love your show and I look forward to it each week. Last week, you talked about content buckets, and I was wondering if you had any advice for new bakers. I just started my business, so I don't have a lot of cookies to feature. I also don't have many followers, so it's hard to engage, but I also don't want an empty Facebook page. Any tips? Thanks. I can speak to this because when I had no customers and I was slow growing my Facebook page, I would make one random cookie at a time. I didn't really have to do a dozen because when I did my photography, I'd focus on that one cookie. So it gave me a lot more content. So if unicorns are a top seller, and we know everyone wants a unicorn cookie, they're like
can't
the
go
number
wrong
one
with the unicorn.
Mermaid tails and unicorn cookies. Go ahead and hey, this is going to save you some money. Just cut your dough. Don't have to go buy a cutter if you don't want to.
Because you're making one cookie.
You're just making one. So hand cut it. Create that work of art that you can showcase on the page. And what you're doing is creating an online portfolio of the things that you could potentially do for somebody. It was honestly a great way for me to create content for my page. And guess what? The content I created when I started, I am still using. The page that had people following it at the beginning are totally different than the people that are following it now. So it's like new content to them. Plus, you always know that I say get some runway out of your photography, do it on a white backdrop, do it staged, do it with different lighting and things like that. Have a little kid holding it, biting off the head of the unicorn.
One cool thing that Corey does is she'll do these one-off cookies and then she'll give them away.
I do.
So she has they're almost becoming this weird referral source. They are free to the people, and she'll have a little like impromptu contest. Makes it real easy. Says, hey, it's porch pickup sometime today. If the people show up, great. If not, no sweat. But I think it's a really great way. So now speaking of content buckets,
yes,
let's go through your content buckets. Like, what does your page entail? I know you like to do customer sets.
Some sets that I just do for fun if I have some downtime. Right. I love to showcase places around the DMV.
See, really easy one there, and a really nice one because you're still a resource without the sales pitch.
Yes.
Corey likes to always take a couple pictures from our cookie class. We always take pictures of the cookie classes.
And I sold 2 tickets to the cookie class by doing that last week before I was banned. Mm-hmm. So that was 2 seats I didn't have to fill that we cross-promoted. I just said, hey, you guys, we have one more ticket to this class. Because a lot of people know me for custom cookies, but they don't know me for the classes.
It's so funny. This lady came in. She was really friendly. Yeah, and we were like, hello. And she's like, hello. And we're like, can I get your name? Gotta just check out this. She's like, I'm Karen. You might recognize me because I place orders. And I just want to see if I could do this myself.
I know. She did fantastic. So I probably lost her as a client.
But so let's say your content bucket is order features, about town.
Yes.
Class promotion.
Reviews, past reviews.
Corey likes doing past reviews. And then I think that she takes a lot of what we do in the collabs.
Memes.
Yeah. Okay. You can't not have a meme bucket. That's just free reach. But Corey likes to take, I know you're going to post your collab thing to your Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Right. So
that's
collabs,
a twofer because that's around town and a cookie.
So she's going to tell everyone to go to a weird restaurant here that she likes. But she's going to feature this like a thing. And the benefit of these cookie collabs is you can give people a reason. Like, hey, I'm in this group. We do this cookie collab. And it was supposed to feature somebody that we wanted to thank. And we're going to talk about this in a second. So don't.
Right.
But Corey can not only look like a saint on her page, but she can, connect people to other businesses. And I think you do that for other things. You know what would be great? Corey did a trade, which you don't typically do, a photographer said, hey, I really like your cookies. Would you want to do a trade? And you did a photo set. I think it'd be cool if you posted some of those photos.
So what I also like to do we have this Nova Parents group, and I've bought from people on there. So I've gotten like an American flag, someone made out of wood, this cute Christmas garland that was felt.
Did you order like a wreath?
I did got a wreath. Yeah, I love shopping local. It's great. But what I can do is turn around and showcase those people on my own page. And the Garland lady, I did showcase her stuff. I never even thought she knew who I was. But did she try to place an order for cookies? Was it booked? Yes. But it did turn around, and she wanted to invest back into my business because I invested in hers. So
it doesn't matter where you're at in your business. Anybody can do this stuff.
Especially if you have downtime. That is the time to really focus
right after you have that little meeting with yourself.
Content.
But what if your content strategy was your goal for the month of January?
Yeah. What if unicorns, okay, like that. But what if you were like, hey, I would really like corporate orders. My Monday self told me to really focus that in 2022. And you recreated a logo on a cookie for a local business. Went there, took a picture outside of it. We're able to tag. That's like all my content buckets.
So when you can get those content buckets to marry each other in one post, you've done a really phenomenal job. So what we challenge people, if you don't know the concept of a content bucket, it's come up with 5 content buckets, types of content that fit your business. And then as you build out your content schedule for the month, pull from each bucket over and over again.
I even saw someone do this. I thought was genius. They give a tip. So, did you know that cold eggs are easier to separate than warm eggs? I mean, even if people, you still want them to buy from you, but what a tip and something that you could fill in for the day, and then it would create engagement. Like, what's another tip that you have that maybe someone doesn't know?
Another type of content bucket tips I love. Another type of content bucket is contests and giveaways. I would say use it sparingly, but I do like a once-a-month schedule. Once a month?
Once a month.
Oh
Wow.
it is
really
just a rough Monday. But yeah, come up with 5 content buckets. Look at the content that resonates with your audience, and there's a bucket, a type of content that people like. And then don't be afraid to drop out a content bucket if it doesn't perform.
Work. And I've dropped many a bucket.
Fear of failure. We don't have it here. We just fail, and then we figure it out, and then we find something else. A lot of F's in that one too. Okay, group stuff. We have some Facebook Lives. Some I've got to add. But here's what's coming up is icing consistencies with Oh, no, these were the past ones. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah,
icing consistencies. If you wanted to watch this is readily available. You can find it at the Facebook group, Sugar Cookie Marketing Group Events tab, and then scroll down to past events, allergies and labeling with Heidi, and then reverse calendaring with Jessica Genzo. Yeah. So those are all up. You can watch them now. You can watch them later. I can't promise that people will save them in the group, so it's better to knock it out.
Any of them for the next 20
Corey's
days.
banned from everything. So yeah, that was a crazy thing is Corey got banned, but then Facebook decided I was her fake profile. She did log in as me to do a quick post or something.
And I log in from the same
IP address.
All the time.
So I got a VPN, Tembi.
Are you on that right now?
No, I'm because I'm logged into my primary account. So I do have maybe an ulterior account, and I log in through a VPN on that one. Virtual private network is what that stands for, and if I log into a VPN, I can spoof where it looks like I'm logging in from.
Give me and Heather some distance.
Some IP address.
We might have the same name, but we don't have to have the same band.
Yeah. So I'm back and better than ever.
And
but Corey and I
kind of back and
finding
slightly
some
okay
workarounds. A big thing I've learned from this ban is Facebook's. It's not us.
Always watching.
Facebook's always watching, and they don't recommend. It's best practices to have more than one person on your Facebook page as an admin.
Because it actually booted me as an admin on most
Corey
pages.
doesn't exist anymore on her own pages, but I do.
But what if she didn't?
Then you'd lose access to those pages. And who knows if Corey, oddly, obviously your ban will be lifted, but who knows? Facebook doesn't know us anything.
Man. I'm on number 7. I'm sure 10's the limit.
Right. So it's important to add someone to, and I know a lot of you guys did this after last week's intervention, but add someone to your business manager. If you don't know what a business manager is, sign up for the Cookie College. We'll help you.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of cleanup for our business manager as well the past week.
Avoiding
just sand stuff,
Avoiding
not rock stuff.
All right. We have some upcoming events. Friday is the Cookie Collab, the Meaning of Christmas Collab. We usually have a month runtime, but life got crazy, so we've had a 2-week runtime with this one. But it's actually very easy. It'll be one of the easiest collabs that you would ever be a part of. If you're not familiar with collabs, it's where a bunch of people come in and create something using a specific hashtag to bring awareness to something. So what we wanted to do with the Christmas Day collab is to say thank you to someone who maybe doesn't get thanked. Is it a cashier that doesn't usually get a pat on the back? Is it your favorite coffee barista that you see every day? Is it the FedEx
guy that you have this relationship with because you've ordered everything in the group?
If you know me and Heather, we like to go out to eat. So mine, guys, I went there on Sunday with every intention to take a picture of this man and a cookie, and he was not there. I hope he was not fired because he actually works every Sunday.
But wasn't he getting promoted to another?
He could have already gone to Winchester. Winchester is an hour and a half from there, so I will just say a prayer for him, and I will not be traveling out that way, so I might have to pivot. I think seasons. So I made a whole one of the Target trays.
Oh, that'll be good.
It's packed full.
Really?
Yeah.
For seasons?
I think if he's gone, seasons, but I can't just bring one cookie for all the servers there.
Right. So Seasons 52 is our favorite restaurant. We watched that little restaurant go. It's actually owned by Darden. It's a huge company, but
yeah,
we know the people.
But that specific one we do like. So the Christmas collab, it will be on Friday, December 17th at 12 Eastern Standard Time. We'll all post up on Instagram using the hashtag Sugar Cookie Marketing Collab.
So
collab
Corey,
has 2 L's.
Tell me this. Why wouldn't I post at 1 Eastern?
You wouldn't post at 1 Eastern because everyone will be on the platform giving engagement to everyone who is using that hashtag at 12. That is when the most amount of people will be on there giving engagement. And this oddly is the purpose of a collab, is because all other content creators that are part of it are going to go to each one under that hashtag and engage with their content. A comment, a like, and it will be able to boost you in the algorithms to the people that you want to see it, like your potential clients and past clients and things
Give
like that.
and you get. It's a win. Starting with blog with Mary Garcia. I've seen her blog. Yeah, you're gonna want to take that if you're
Tell
SEO.
them the benefits of a blog, though, instead of just
So a
writing
lot of people
your thoughts.
say, "Why do I need a blog? What is a blog?" So let's say Sugar Cookie Marketing has a blog, which Corey and I are working on.
Hey, it's got a solid 3 posts on there.
So the Sugar Cookie Marketing blog would be an article saying like, hey, how to get started with your bakery business, or things I wish I knew about teaching a cookie class. I'd write around
5 tips to use Instagram for your business today.
Great, for your bakery. So what we would do is probably write between 500 words to 1,000 words of content that actually adds value to people reading it, supporting our topic. But what happens is you post it to your website, and search engines scour your website for this type of content, because what's a search engine's job? To connect people with the content they want to read. If your content is really valuable for your target audience, Google will allow you to crawl up in search rankings, which is the first page of Google.
So you're like, what should I write? My audience isn't other cookiers. How about this? The farmer's market you're a part of. Best farmer's market in insert the town you're in.
My favorite vendors at insert farmer's market name. Because when people go to search for farmer's markets, your blog might show up as a farmer's market and you have information, but guess who also wrote it? You did. Further connecting your target demographic, your target audience with you.
And that is called web traffic, which then can increase your website in rankings when someone searches sugar cookies near me.
Right. All these, from Facebook to Instagram to Google, they're trying to reward the best content with more reach because it makes their clients happier. So when we say that, starting a blog with Mary Garcia, she runs a blog and it's astoundingly beautiful. Like, she's truly a photographer who happens to have a blog. But she can break down, what a blog is, how to tackle it, what to look for, and then how to generate content. It is a very, very powerful tool. And if getting traffic from Google is your goal in 2022, this is one you're going to want to watch on January 6th.
All right. So I'm glad we hyped that one up. Then we have Watercolor Theory with Kathy. I actually need this because I am so bad at watercolor. For some reason, either the colors don't seem bright enough or it looks like I spilled something on the cookie. Like a coffee mark on the table,
Could you have spilled watercolor on the cookie?
I feel like there's not enough water to color ratio there. But that is Thursday, January 13th at 4 p.m. If I'm not banned by then, I will definitely be watching it.
Okay, I like it. Okay, so moving on, wrapping this up, we're at 51 minutes.
Group
Time
challenges.
flies. No, we already did that one. Mini Christmas club.
Okay. Well, that is a group
I
challenge.
know. That's on Friday at noon, Eastern.
Friday at noon Eastern. Yes, be there. How many people have signed up?
Quite a few, and I'll be sending them an email.
Oh, good. Okay.
Twinterests, Corey, anything Twinteresting going on in your
first?
life? Yeah. So I know last week I talked about the timular, but now I have it. It's running right now. You see him?
What's the timing of?
It's timing us on. So I can get. It's almost looks like
Can I hold it?
Okay, it'll turn him off. But yeah.
Oh, it will?
So
I'm
every
not touching
time
a button.
No, when you turn them to each side,
Guys,
it's
this
going.
is rink a
Okay,
dink.
you guys can hear it pinging now.
Is it turn?
No, you don't. You just change the side and it changes the tracking. So what it looks like is a dice.
This for you with that little origami thing I used to make in class.
It's talking to an app. Every time you turn it over, it's giving me. It talks to my computer, and every time you turn this die-looking thing over, you get a different. It starts tracking a different project. So each one of those colors is assigned to a project.
So what did you name number red?
So put it down
Like that?
Okay, and it's going to tell me that business admin work has started.
Okay, what's this one?
Gray is, hold on, he's thinking. Sugar cookie marketing task have started. Orange is, hold on, the app is reporting. You just ended the sugar. You were doing them so fast, it's telling you, hey, we can't. Okay, you started college homework.
Where's eating lunch with Corey?
It should be the blue
There's one?
Yeah, it's this guy.
Ah! That one?
It's this guy. Let's see. So
Awesome.
now you see that it started when he switched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It says lunch break has started.
How long is lunch break?
It just tells you what
Guys,
to
we got to
do.
get this done. Lunch break is starting.
So the app, what the app does, and what you can see Corey doing, is that it's constantly telling me what I've been working on, And then at the end of the day, I can see like, oh, I spent actually this much time working on sugar cookie marketing or a day job or scrolling TikTok and wasting my time, because I find that in my life, I have a concept of time. It's just not realistic. And I'll quote people like, give me a week to do that when it's actually a 2-week long project.
I need to borrow that for like cookie decorating, like doing a set.
That's exactly what I said, though. If you borrowed this and we set up the time for your account,
so
like the
can
tracker,
you like turn it off? Like, okay, drying time doesn't technically need to be, well, drying time does need to be accounted for, but I'm not technically working on it. I can work on something else.
So you could say, I'm going to set this as drying time. So you have a better understanding.
So I can turn it from green, like green means go, working on this. I'm going to turn it to drying time. Come back. Okay, I'm decorating the next set. Back to drying time.
You could do dough. You could set it dough rolling.
Guys, I want to tell you how much we don't, as bakers, take account to dough prep. That time has got to be accounted for, and that's why you should buy a Bosch.
And a timular. Like, that would be cool if we... So let's say we broke down the class baking day.
That is going to be all day.
Yeah, I know. But you get 8 sides in this. The Timular app is free if you want to manually trigger it. But if you want to connect it to this and get reporting.
How much is
that? The little tracker or the app?
Oh, the app's free, but that thing is something?
Yeah, the base model of the app is free. And then if you want more advanced reporting, it's
How much was the dice?
$69.
$69?
Uh-huh.
Guys. Wow.
It says you with your $300 bow printer.
Bow printer. Oh, I saw him the other day. I said, I don't think you're charged.
So anyways, that's my Twinterest, is this timular thing. I'm going to use it. And then it's creating a calendar of my day. So I can watch, right now it's counting up that we've been doing this for 54 minutes.
But yeah, I switched him over. So
because you kept it under a minute, it didn't trigger.
Oh, like you dropped it and it's like,
so it doesn't, if you keep switching real fast, it won't,
it says like it's rolling under the table.
We figured you're doing something weird. We figured your twin sister grabbed it and started switching it.
What's my Twinterest? Hold on. Let me think.
A lot of people liked my Amazing Grace rendition.
I did buy this for my son. Totally random. But he has a twin bed that he has. But like...
He's a bunk bed.
Yeah, a bunk bed. But it's not a bunk bed because the bottom is a desk.
Which he uses frequently for homework. It was a great idea.
Right now, though, it is so cluttered. And I'm
really?
like, bro, what are you doing?
He bends it.
Yeah, it's been cluttered for a lot longer than that. But there's this bed sheet for kids, and it has this zipper in the center of it. So you would almost need like another bed sheet, to be quite honest with you. But you unzip the center, and then you can zip your kid into it, not over his face.
Like a cocoon?
Like a little, but it's like a built-in blanket.
But it keeps him, apparently it helps people sleep really well.
Well, because it's so high, I don't know if he's zipping himself in there. But he does like...
Why did you get it for him?
I thought it would be like cool to be like, you're zipped into your bed.
So it's like that sheet that you can't fold easily?
It's
with a zipper in it?
With a zipper in it.
Yeah.
So it's like a 2-in-1. But if you unzip it, you will be looking just like at the mattress.
Oh, I think you ought to have one of those unfoldable things.
So I have like a bed cover in case like he had some weird accident, and he's 12, so we shouldn't be having accidents. But
Phoebes has requested an Exodus. She stayed pretty good this time. She made it all the way to minute 56. If you don't know who Phoebe is, I made a Facebook. Quick, and lock that door any louder. I made a Instagram reel and a TikTok on Phoebert, Weebert, Lemon, Squeebert, and her inability to love the podcast.
Well, Heather will get you a link to Phoebe, and I'll get you a link to that little weird bed.
I'm curious what this is and why you bought it.
I don't know why I bought it. I just think my mind was like, if I had a little tiny twin bed, I would love to be zipped into it.
Okay, to our sponsors, Emily from Cast Iron. We actually met with Mark from Cast Iron.
Mark from Cast Iron flew down to meet us, and we were literally starstruck to see the man with a plan.
The man, the myth, the legend.
It was like the favorites of all of our lives.
I think he's a lot cooler than we are.
Yeah, we realized that the man has just like the
rubbed
business,
elbows with famous
business, and we were like little kids.
We're like, they know we like Diet Coke here. Anyways, I asked Emily. I said, "How would you wish we would promote Cast Iron?" Because I, how would you? She sent me 3 bullet points. I'm just going to read them.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Nice.
She said, just tell people it's so easy to get started. We'll walk you step by step and even have a checklist through what you'll need to do to get your store up and going and selling. You can literally create an entire online store and be selling in minutes. No coding, no complex tech experience required. It's purpose built for food. Disclose food allergies and ingredients to keep your customers safe. Flexible fulfillment options for how you operate your business. Easy sales tax collection if you need it.
I just made my site go live with
Nice,
them.
nice.
I was able to go in and edit my cover photo. So I made it Christmassy because of the time that we're in.
That's good.
I changed my copy on the site, letting everyone know that I was booked for 2022, but looking forward to baking for them in I was booked for 2020.
Of course.
I said, wow.
This marketing has worked too well, folks.
Wait, go ahead.
We'll be taking orders in 2023.
I was able to add all my products in there, to write about the products, add my FAQ and everything like that. So it was very easy to navigate.
I love a website with an FAQ. I liked that.
It was actually the FAQ that we made for the group.
Well, I love that.
Terms
Even
and
better.
conditions.
The last point she makes is it's free. We only make money when you make money. 10% transaction free. No hosting fees, no listing fees, no hidden fees. Decide how you want to deal with that fee. Absorb it, charge it to your customers, or split it 50-50 down the
Yeah, I
middle.
saw that. So you can choose when you're setting it up if you would like to absorb the fees instead of sending it to your customers, you would just price accordingly. Or if you wanted to send the fees their way, which at 10%, if you're charging 70 is $7, it's like a cookie.
Or do 50-50, 350 and 350.
Yeah, which is even less. I mean, fantastic.
I wouldn't
honestly.
even see 350. I wouldn't see a $3.50 charge,
Now that's the price of a calligraphy pen right there.
which you're getting full Christmas.
I know, guys. Don't get a hobby in my family. They will.
Okay, it's kind of
Drag
hard
it
to buy
out.
for adults.
I have so many hobbies.
Yeah, so
Literally, I'm the
everyone's just like,
easiest.
okay, I'm going to just shoot in the dark here.
Yeah. To the dark. You have two verticals.
We all know you have all the stuff.
Yeah, but I don't mind dupes.
Okay.
You know how many Heavenly 70s I have?
A lot.
Too many.
Why not? I bought one.
And then I had one. And then I bought one for myself.
Okay. Okay, Eddie. If you know Eddie, he got married about a year ago. Now, Eddie is an edible FDA approved ink printer. I was telling everybody about that in cookie class on Saturday, and people
They
are
were
just blown away that it
away.
exists. If you've not seen how
I
Eddie
almost
works,
should make some cookies, have Eddie print them, and bring them to class.
what
Just
if
so
we
they
just
could
brought
see.
Eddie to class? Would that be crazy? He's
I
heavy.
think the class needs to go because we're in and out.
True. Not this coming class. We're doing 3 on one day, which is a little rough.
Yeah.
But Eddie is not rough. He is really cool. The thing about Eddie and with any machine you buy is truly the support. A lot of people have pushed Eddie to his limits, and support is always there, willing to help you work through any issues or questions or comments. That said, one of the members of the Cookie College treated herself to an Eddie.
Oh, man.
And she said, I was so worried that I wouldn't understand it, but I was printing my first cookie in 30 minutes. And really, 20 of those minutes is just downloading the software onto your machine.
Yeah.
So it is very self-explanatory. Their walkthrough does a great job. And then you want to finish this up with, what did you just call me?
Bakety Bake is
did you
a
just
brand that makes royal batch meringue powder. It is my favorite thing that I've been using. Meringue powder, can make or break your enjoyableness with cookie decorating. If it crusts too fast, if it gets too hard, if it's not that bright white we look for in our snowmen and things like that, your meringue powder can help you achieve these things. When I'm teaching cookie decorating classes, these people who've never decorated before really do truly need every advantage that they can get. So if they're not laying the icing down fast enough, they need something that's not going to crust over on them super fast and get them super frustrated, because that's not what the point of the cookie classes is. So it's been very nice to use this royal batch because, one, it gives a nice flood. It dries shiny. It's already got a lot of the ingredients that we actually add to them right already in there. I know I'm talking this up, but it is still sold out.
It's still sold out. I was trying to look.
But she is sold out. She came back on December 6th. You guys sold her out way fast. But she did want to set the expectation and give a date. But she's working on, one, getting a bigger facility so she can accommodate to more orders and things like that. But when she does, use Twins, TWINS at checkout. It'll save you 10%. Guys, I already did the math. If you buy the 5-pound bag,
Corey did the math. This is good math. This is not the cookie class math.
no, this is Corey being greedy math. If you buy the 5-pound bag, it gets you eligible for free shipping. Right now, she's U.S. only, but she is looking at going over the border to Canada if she can. But that makes your bag roughly a 1 pound for $17.99. And in it already comes with white food coloring, vanilla, and corn syrup. So you would be saving because you don't actually have to add those things to it. So we are like dirt cheap if you come to think about it at that. So buying the 5 pound bag.
We are
range,
not. Bakery is. We're at a dirt cheap number. Oh, that sounded like we were selling something.
No, I don't even know how to make. I don't know how to make root butter.
I don't even understand what it is.
I think it's a substitute for egg whites, but it's not
meringue
powder. I don't know, but guys, I honestly really do enjoy it. Everyone in class the last weekend did a phenomenal job, and I know it wasn't because of me. It was definitely because
they did really like. I didn't hear too many complaints about icing consistency.
You know, I made it a little bit looser than what I do because I know people are like,
these are bigger cookies
grabbers.
Too. These were bigger cookies too.
Yeah, I know. So I made the white looser so they had more time to do that little wreath movement. Okay, but if you want to, it is bakedybakeIdaho.com. Does she have an email newsletter? Yeah, at the bottom, subscribe, sign up for our mailing list. So you can go if you need to and sign up, and maybe we can beg her to send us a email when she restocks.
She sent a Facebook message the last time. I just happened to be awake.
Oh, I'm on her thing. They did actually face a loss in their family.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, when we hear anything, I'm probably going to post it into that Baking with Sugar Cookie marketing group, the new baking group.
She also said, I'm considering opening pre-orders a little early.
Well, that'd be nice. Okay. Well, we'll keep you guys dialed in. When we know anything, we'll pass it along to you all after apparently Corey orders a 5 pound bag.
Yeah, guys. You got to be faster than me, man.
Okay. You guys got this. This is the week before the week.
Guys, this is it.
This is cramming week.
Someone actually sent us something in the mailbag, so I'm just going to give that address. It is 15,000 Potomac Town Place, Suite 245, Woodbridge, WODBRIDGE, Virginia 22191. I shall be checking it because it's my little bestie in the Cookie College. She's 16 years old, guys.
Aww.
She taught her first class 2 weeks ago now, I think it is, and she has one coming up next week. And it was a full house. She looked like a champ. Her mom took pictures, posted it to our VIP group, which I'm in, and it looked fantastic. She even used from the Cookie College our PowerPoint and had switched out all the slides with her stuff. So if you get into the Cookie College, you can have our PowerPoint. We actually film a whole class for you, and you get our script if you want to be punny and corny like Heather and I are. So
I kind of totally forgot to talk about CookieCon, but it's sold out now, so.
Okay, CookieCon was, and now is not.
Yeah, but I think if I'm just going to say it, I'm not sure if last year was a fluke with 2, but a lot of people right before CookieCon ended up selling their tickets. So I'm not sure. It's a risk there because then you need to buy a plane ticket and a hotel.
Well, right now your only avenue is to wait.
Yeah.
And to in the CookieCon group.
Okay.
There is you can post that, hey, I can no longer go to CookieCon. Does anyone want to buy my ticket? Uh-huh. Right now, they can get full refunds for the ticket, so they're probably not going to post it up. But I think a month out, they can no longer ask for a refund, and then they have to sell it to somebody else. That's when
it's kind of, if you're in driving distance to Reno, that's where it is this year, that would be the move.
Yeah, because then you could just drive in.
Yeah, without having to do plane tickets, because you don't want to wait till a month out to get your plane ticket.
Right.
Or your hotel room. I don't know.
Right. But I know a Core will be a vendor there and Sweet Pink Olive will be a vendor there. I'm not sure if they wanted me to say that.
Cookie University will be a vendor there.
I think she is. I know she's teaching an add-on, I think.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's probably what it is.
I know that was there, but I can't remember.
Cool.
As we find out who will be there, we'll let you know.
Cool. Okay,
all right, guys.
You've got
this is it. Put that apron on. Put that, you know how they do like the black, like under eye stuff for football teams?
Thanks.
Take your flour under your eyes, hunker down, because we're almost hunkering down for Valentine's Day.
Have a good one, guys.